Just imagine in a college football universe far, far away, so far removed, all the way back to, let's say, 2019. One quarterback who's been talked about more than any in college football over the past, 6 months or so, Nico Iamaleava. Now a UCLA Bruin, would still, of course, be a Tennessee Volunteer before the NIL era, and he would continue to be developed in this offense under Josh Heupel, because this program invested so much money, so much time, so many resources, so much coaching, development into that young man for one season, one marginal season, 19 touchdowns, 5 picks. Good ratio there, but did not perform well against the best teams. But Nico off to UCLA in steps. It was a trade, as it turned out. Joey Aguilar. All right, Josh Heupel's offense is going to be put to the test, because once Heupel took over in Tennessee, things improved immediately. He's done a great job. And of course, Tennessee reached its first college football playoff last year, finished 10-3 after the blowout loss to Ohio State. And Josh Heupel is known for offense, and his teams usually finish very high in offense. But when we really grind down to what the Tennessee offense looked like last year, let's take away those first 3 games against the likes of Chattanooga, NC State, and Kent State, in which Tennessee scored 191 points in 3 games. That Tennessee offense that is 12th in the nation in scoring last season under Nico, not nearly as good. Listen to these point totals against the rest of its schedule, especially the SEC. 25 points against Oklahoma, 14 against Arkansas, 17 in regulation time against Florida, 24 against Bama, 28 against Kentucky, 33 against mighty Mississippi State, 2-10, 17 against Georgia, 36 against Vandy, and 17, of course, against Ohio State, and a late touchdown in garbage time. This offense wasn't truly that good last year, so I don't even know what they truly miss in losing their starting quarterback, bringing on Joey Aguilar, who turned in a remarkable season 2 years ago at App State, 33 touchdowns, 10 picks, but up to 14 interceptions. That will not fly on a Josh Heupel offense. The playmaking has to be better. The blocking has to be better, and the quarterback, give it up for Nico. Despite the lack of production and points in the passing game, only 5 interceptions. So Joey Aguilar called upon to produce similar turnover results as Iamaleava. All right, let's look at the personnel, because it's basically a whole new offense. Wide receiver Chris Brazzell came in from Tulane and somewhat disappointed with only 29 catches, but he's back. Miles Kitselman comes back as well at tight end, 22 catches, 4 touchdowns. Top 3 wide receivers all gone in Squirrel White, Deontay Thornton, and Brew McCoy. School's all-time leading rusher for a single season, Dylan Sampson, 1,500 yards, 22 touchdowns, gone. Bring in Star Thomas from Duke. He ran for almost 900 yards for a 9-4 Duke team. Deshaun Bishop, 455 for Tennessee last year, and Peyton Lewis, 339. It will be running back by committee. The offensive line is all new, with Wendell Moe, 24 starts at Arizona. Lance Hurd, highly prized prospect who played at LSU last year as a true freshman. Sam Pendleton, 7 starts at Notre Dame. And what about this guy? True freshman 5-star David Sanders, who will probably get a starting nod for this Tennessee team right out of the gate. Now let's look at the defense, and really, despite all the star power to a certain extent with Sampson and Nico and others, the wide receiver core really highlighted by Tennessee, and Tennessee known as an offensive team because of Josh Heupel and the numbers they produced under Hendon Hooker a few seasons ago. Really, it was the defense that got Tennessee to the playoff and a 6-2 SEC record. Top 10 in total defense, top 10 in points against, 7 starters back. The defensive line was stacked last year. They brought back 10 players from the 2023 team. James Pierce was, of course, that guy, the star off the edge with 7.5 sacks. And despite missing 3 games, first-round NFL draft selection. He's gone. And now we got Bryson Eason, 24 tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, and James Josephs, 7.5 TFLs, 39 stops. They lead the defensive front. The linebackers are really good. Arian Carter, 68 stops. Boo Carter, 38. And then the secondary, really fine at Tennessee, coming back with Jermod McCoy. He's an All-American, 44 tackles from the corner position, 4 interceptions. Ricky Gibson totaled 32 tackles as well. So if Tennessee can replace that girth, that talent up front, the speed off the edge, and have something similar to what they produced last year, although it's almost impossible for their defensive line to be as good as they were in 2024. If they're nearly as good, let's say 80-85%, with those linebackers and that secondary, Tennessee, I know because of the Nico situation and losing skilled players on offense, not expected to make a big push this year, but they could surprise. Let's look at special teams, where both the punter and the place kicker are back. Max Gilbert, 20 of 26. The punter is Jackson Ross. I like this series that the SEC and the ACC have going at the end of the season, of course, with the 4 rivalry games, but also at the beginning of the season where they meet several times. 2 of those games always in Atlanta. So we've got one of those matchups with Tennessee and Syracuse. And Tennessee fans, you should hearken back to 1998, of course, that trip to the Carrier Dome. That was a controversial pass interference and win for Tennessee, and it ultimately led to a national championship. If the Orange on the other side of the ball from Syracuse would be so lucky and fortunate for Tennessee this time around. August 30th, the opener in Atlanta against Fran Brown and the Cuse. Get this, when you look at the SEC schedule, rarely do many teams in the SEC face 4 teams from that bottom tier that are clearly not up to that middle tier of the SEC. And what I see here with Tennessee is that out of 8 conference games, they play 4 teams that are in that level of Mississippi State. Of course, at the bottom, Vandy. Nice season last year for Vandy, but they're still Vandy. Arkansas, those 2 teams went 7-6 last year. Kentucky coming off 4-8. Those could be the 4 worst teams in the SEC, and Tennessee gets those 4 to make up half of their conference schedule. Okay, September 13th against Georgia. October 18th at Bama. Of course, Tennessee won that game by a touchdown last year. Got to go to Tuscaloosa, though, this time. Tennessee beat Oklahoma. This time they've got them in Knoxville the first day of November. And then the big showdown against Florida. Rivalry game in the Swamp on November 22nd. So the 4 toughest games are all spread out for Tennessee to gear up for those matchups. Some people are saying that Tennessee's going to take this huge drawback this year after a 10-2 regular season last year. I see it to a certain extent, but with that favorable SEC schedule, win against Syracuse, in which Tennessee's got a substantially better roster than Syracuse, although that's going to be a challenge, of course. I got Tennessee at 4-4 in the SEC, 8-4 overall. Join us for the College Football Show Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Give me a call. Join the chat. Trash talk in the chat. The chat will accept you, love you. And join the Voice of College Football community right there. And, of course, we got a Tennessee channel, Tennessee Show. Check out the day and time right on the screen right there. And we will continue to blast out our predictions for the 2025 season right here at the Voice of College Football.